Okay, I am the first one to admit when I've had a bad take and need to take accountability, so this is an apology video to Bill Gates. It is not often that I, an anti-capitalist, find myself having to apologize to a billionaire, but when I have done wrong, I will own it. Several days ago on Blue Sky, I covered a post where Bill Gates' daughter had described him as having Asperger's. And I was like, well, that's weird. That's a term that's really out of date. It is a Yahtzee dog whistle. Hans Asberger was an Austrian eugenicist that worked for the Mustache Man and killed lots and lots of disabled kids. He also described Asperger's as autistic psychopathy. He felt that autistic people didn't have any empathy, and yet somehow his name got attached to a certain kind of autism. My daughter, who's autistic, loves to say that the label Asperger's just means I have the kind of autism that functions well in a capitalist system. I have capitalism-friendly autism. But the term Asperger's fell out of favor more than a decade ago. It's no longer listed in the DSM because of its ties to eugenics and to the Yahtzee regime. Also because it was really kind of an arbitrary distinction of like this certain subset of folks on the autism spectrum, they get the label Asperger's, again, probably because they function very well under capitalism. And so I was like, this is a little sus that his daughter has come out in 2025 and said, my dad, Bill Gates, has Asperger's, because the only prominent public figure who is on the autism spectrum who still describes themselves that way is Elon Musk. And Elon Musk, by the way, is not diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum. He is self-diagnosed, the world's richest man who has access to all of the neuropsych evaluations in the world. He chooses to call himself somebody with Asperger's because he struggles with empathy. He doesn't experience empathy. And he believes that false stereotype that Hans Asperger put forth, that people on the autism spectrum do not feel empathy. And so he's like, oh, I must be like that. But he intentionally uses the word Asperger's because it's a dog whistle. It's the same way he uses the Fractor font in his MAGA hat. He loves all of the Yahtzee dog whistles. So my initial take was, well, this is weird that only he and Elon Musk are using this descriptor. Does this have anything to do with RFK Jr. wanting to have an autism registry and send autistic people to like work farms or something? Because RFK Jr. is a eugenicist. And people were speculating in my comments, yeah, he's trying to differentiate himself from other autistic people. This is absolutely like a little signal to the administration. And at the time I was wondering, is he using that term for the same reason that Elon Musk is? Is he trying to cozy up to this regime? What exactly is he getting cozy with the fascists? Is he getting cozy with the eugenicists, with the white supremacists? And that was a bad take. I should not have speculated in that regard without any more evidence than his daughter saying that he had Asperger's. There have since been 2 stories that have come out in the news that have proved how bad of a take I had. And the first story that made me think, I didn't have such a good take here, I don't think Bill Gates actually is cozying up to Trump, was a week ago when Microsoft fired their law firm, Simpson Thacher, that capitulated to Trump. Instead, they awarded all of their business to Jenner & Block, a law firm resisting Trump. Quoting the New York Times here, on April 22nd, several attorneys at the law firm of Simpson, Thacher, and Bartlett informed the Delaware Court of Chancery that they would no longer be representing Microsoft in a case related to the company's 2023 acquisition of the video game giant Activision Blizzard, according to court filings. Simpson Thacher reached a deal with the White House last month in which the firm committed to perform $125 million in free legal work for causes acceptable to the Trump administration. They are collaborators, capitulators, appeasers of a fascist regime. On the same day that Simpson Thacher lawyers filed paperwork withdrawing from the Microsoft case, at least 3 partners at the firm of Jenner & Block informed the court that they would now be representing Microsoft. Jenner is currently fighting in court to permanently block a Trump administration executive order targeting its business. Hey, all you law firms that are selling out the American people and your ethics, how do you like them apples? Okay, but then today there is another story. It's published in TheVerge.com. It's entitled, Bill Gates Tears into Elon Musk for being, quote, involved in the deaths of the world's poorest children. Gates calls out the stunning reductions in U.S. aid funding during an interview with the New York Times. This is what I have been saying from the get-go, that Elon Musk is directly responsible for the deaths of millions of children. Save the Children, the New York Times, and others are citing at least 1.2 million children will die from a lack of medical care directly as a result of what Elon Musk is doing, and millions more will starve to death, die from diarrheal diseases, from a lack of clean water, die from a lack of vaccines. Millions of the world's poorest children are dying directly as a result of Elon Musk illegally gutting USAID. The reductions in USAID are stunning, Gates said during his interview with the New York Times. I thought there'd be like a 20% cut. Instead, right now, it's like an 80% cut. Yes, I did not expect that. I didn't think anybody expected that. If you'd read Project 2025, you would have. I think it's important to note that part of my criticism came because Bill Gates does things like have dinners with Trump. He's also quoted in this article as saying, Elon Musk could go on to be a great philanthropist. In the meantime, the world's richest man has been involved in the deaths of the world's poorest children. The fact that he was willing to criticize Musk so openly, the fact that Microsoft fired their law firm, those are good signs. And it says to me that I should not have speculated even a tiny bit about whether or not Gates was cozying up to this regime. But I was going based off of the previous behavior of super wealthy men. And the way that even Bill Gates has entertained Trump, right? And the fact that there are no good billionaires. But still, Bill Gates, I apologize for reaching too far. And I really appreciate the fact that he's willing to condemn Musk so openly. He can do more. He's worth so much. He can do so much more. All of the rich men out there can do so much more to stop this. The bare minimum is firing your law firm that is capitulating with Trump. The bare minimum is saying, I'm outraged by the deaths of millions of innocent children. But Bill Gates, I apologize, but also I want to challenge you to do more. Do a whole hell of a lot more to stop this madness.